Hey guys, how are you? Let's discuss how to promote events. So, you must leverage very large websites that are focusing on events. No brainer, right? The biggest such site is meetup.com. Meetup isn't completely free, it's very cheap. It's like $12.50 a month or something like that. But it has a ton of people who might want to attend your event. So either partner with existing group organizers or start maintaining your own group and build your own audience, right? Other than Meetup, there are many in metropolitan areas. There are many local event sites. Depending on what your metropolitan area may be, there are obviously different sites that are active in your area. Here's how to basically find the ones that are active in your area. What you want to do is basically just search Google for event, type in my city name, right? Whatever your city name is, and browse the first like 30 results or so. Probably half of those sites that have event listings are user-generated sites, and that means that you can add your own listing to those sites. If those sites get a lot of traffic, which they probably do since they come up in Google, they can drive that traffic to your event. The trick is, of course, to be prominent on their sites, to have your listing be prominent. The way you can do that is by obviously having a great listing so that their editors can notice you and put your listing as more prominent, or you can actually pay to, for the extra advertising, to have your listing boosted. Usually, especially if your event makes revenue, it's a good idea. Usually these aren't very expensive sites to advertise on. Of course, it's a case-by-case basis, but in my experience, it's been for the value, for the number of attendance you get. Usually, it's very reasonably priced. And then, of course, it's up to you to monetize those attendees well. But monetization is a different topic. Here, we're just talking about event marketing. So. Alright, so just make sure that you leverage large event sites, because these, for many kinds of events, these are golden. They can really drive a ton of attendance. Okay, you also want to get publicity, and you can get publicity by being on the local radio, bloggers, having great events that can stand out so much that they can actually generate publicity for you. I have a separate video for just how to get publicity for events, so I'm going to point you to that and kind of just go forward, but it will be easy for you to find there's a whole video for how to get publicity, so just watch that. Okay, next thing, of course, what you really want to do is build your email list. And really, building an email list is kind of like any business you have. You should build an email list probably, because anytime you have any updates, a new event, a new product, a new anything, send it to your email list. People rarely change their email addresses, right? So you'll be able to connect with them for years to come, almost no matter what you're doing. And if you maintain your email list well, and if you keep them updated and send them good things, interesting things, your emails will have a high open rate, and people will get engaged with your emails. And many people who do that and invest in their email list and spend time on it, the results are really positive in that people really engage well on email lists if they take the time to update them regularly and all that stuff. But email lists are very powerful potentially, especially if you have one event and people liked it, right? You have to have great events. People liked it, they might want to know about your next events. So you've got to maintain your email list. And of course, I've already alluded to this, but you have to have fantastic events, because that's your marketing, right? Because if you have fantastic events, guess what? People who attend are going to tell their friends about it. Editors of websites are going to promote your events a little bit more, right? You may find it easier to get publicity because your events are that great, right? 'Cause if you have like a mediocre event, if it's like, then right? But if you have a really great, unique kind of cool event, then many options open up. I'll give you an example of what I did. So some years ago, I had a successful outdoor event series, and it was like hiking, right? And hiking is fun, but it's not a whole lot of, like, it's okay, it's just okay, right? So when I had like different hikes, they were okay, but they weren't getting a lot of attendance, right? And then I thought, like, how can I make this stand out? How can I make it more unique? And it so happened that there were like these historical like landmarks of like shipwrecks that crashed on the seas of, you know, that crashed on the rocks in the nearby beach, right? And then I had a hike then I had a hike to go to those shipwrecks and during low tide, and it was like mysterious because people in the area were like, what, there are shipwrecks? It's like, what the heck, you know? And that little bit of excitement, mysteriousness, that little edge made all the difference, because the site editors where I posted my events, they were like, wow, shipwrecks? I've never seen shipwrecks here. I didn't know this, right? And people too. They were like, wow, shipwrecks? Amazing. And I got a ton of publicity, like the local newspaper published this article on the Sunday paper. They published the event, and they got like way more attendees than I can actually take with me on the hike. It was crazy. And it made all the difference between just a few people attending to like a couple hundred people attending, and I couldn't take a couple hundred people on a hike. So it's really, and then of course, you know, you have to have a great event. Like, yes, it has to sound great to attract attention, but to get people recommending it to friends and to come back again, you have to have a great event. And that's up to you. You know, I can't help you have a great event, right? This is something that's up to you, but I believe in you. I trust that you will. Okay. The next thing you want to do for promoting your event is very obvious, and that is SEO, search engine optimization. You need to rank in Google with your website for searches like event type in city name, right? Remember that search, event type in city name, events in city. You should be one of the listings, right? Because people who are searching that are potential people who might want to attend, right? So you got to capture them, and you got to do search engine optimization so you can rank your website on Google. It's a very basic thing to suggest, but you need it. It's one of the core things. It's one of the like basic things that you got to be doing. You know, because people who are looking for events, they're already taking action to search. They're very likely to attend if your event matches something that they would be wanting to attend, because they already want to. They're already looking for it. So they're very good leads. So don't let those go easily. Another very smart thing that you can do is during your events, what you can do is record them. If your event is the kind of an event that can be recorded. If it can be recorded, let's say video. If it's video, you can put it on YouTube and get extra exposure for your events on YouTube, so people can know about it and go to the next events. If it's something that can be live broadcasted, it's even better, right? Because it's a little bit more exciting. You can get people engaged right there. You can also, if that event lends itself well to this, you can also create an audio-only podcast with the same principle. Basically, you just want extra exposure so people can learn about your events and attend the next event. The other thing you can do is transcribe the events, right? Or have a live blog or blog. You know, you don't have to transcribe word for word, but you can blog about the events, right? And the same principle as YouTube. The blog can rank in Google. People can discover it. You can search it on social media, share it on social media, and basically just amplify the number of people who learn about your events, so that they can come to the next events, right? So you want to record and blog about your events, just so that it will increase discoverability of your events. Of course, you want to be consistent. one of the greatest strengths of in your event marketing is consistency, because probably the first few events it won't be as great as you hope, but you will learn how to get the kinks out of your process, right? You learn how to like do this right, do that right. You learn like what worked, what didn't work, and you'll get better and better at it. So if you do these events over time, you will get better and better and better and better. And really, you know, it's like persistency really pays off when it comes to events. Really pays off. Consistency. So that's another thing. The other thing you can do is, if you have a venue, you can, if you have a venue, you can print event posters and, you know, brand your events. Or you can post posters of your upcoming events at strategic areas, right? So you can print different marketing materials and post them to wherever your potential attendees might hang out. And I wanna, you know, I'm doing this video in conjunction with grandstandstore.com. Check them out because they're really cool. They help, like, if you need to print posters, if you need to print like business cards for your events, if you need to print brochures, because brochures are another good thing, because on brochures you can promote your sponsors and you can promote your future events, and, you know, something you can give to people. It makes your event seem like a little bit more of a real thing, because, you know, brochures, it's like, you know, you took the time and care to print things. It's a very nice thing to do. So those kinds of event marketing materials that you can print, check out grandstandstore.com, grandstandstore.com, and they help with all sorts of things like that. And it's really helpful because you want to brand, partially you want to brand your events. It just gives your events a little bit more of a feel of authority, and people trust that. And then on the other hand, you know, if you're networking with business cards, you can print business cards. If you have brochures, you can print brochures or stuff like that. So they help with very practical things that you can do to promote your events. So that's about it. These are, you know, if you do these right, I mean, of course, if you can get on TV and promote your event, right? But for most of us, we can't get on TV unless it's like a very, very large event. But whatever your event is, these are essentially, you should be doing these strategies. These are very core and are the first things that you should be doing. Once you're done with these kind of strategies, you can get into more complex strategies that really depend on the nature of your particular event, right? Because for some events, you have to do very like unique sort of things. But these strategies are some things that almost all events can do. So I hope this works for you, and you know, good luck in using these. These are effective.